Hi guys, welcome to another TechBible tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you how to replace a screen. As you can see, this one's smashed on an iPhone 5C. She's properly dropped this one. Even all the plastic on the casing's gone in. There's bits everywhere. So what you'll need is some inch sellotape. Yeah, you're wondering why. I'll show you later. Tweezers, Stanley knife, or a small blade, thin as possible to be honest. You also need a spade, just to jimmy stuff up with, especially to get the screen out if it's stuck in. Phillips screwdriver and a Pentalobe screwdriver. So first off, what you need to do, get sellotape, find the end, which is a nightmare. It's the worst thing in the world. So what you're going to do is, because you can't put the sucker on the screen because the screen is broken and you won't get a tight fit, what you need to do is put some sellotape on it. So then you can get proper suction on the screen. So once you put the sellotape on, take the two screws out the bottom, Pentalobe ones. These should come out pretty easy. Usually you get a set of screwdrivers with the screen. They're not the best, but if you're just doing it the one time, they're perfect. I bought these ones, these are like a professional set. So now I've got these suckers, and this is brilliant for getting the screen off. You do get a sucker in the cheap kits, but this is amazing because watch, it should. This one is really broken. Let's see if I can get it out. I don't think this is going to go. I might have to get the edge tool in on this one. Yeah, gonna have to. Right. So, screen doesn't come off like that. Usually you can get a thin edge in it, like that, and it'll just lift up. And if you just twist and pop it up, don't stick it in too far though, because if you twist, there's like vital components underneath, and they will break. I'll show you one of them in a second once this is off. Right, that's off now. If you do it too hard, there's these little prongs that connect to your home button. They will break. I found out the hard way. Also, having the sellotape on there, it stops the bits coming out as well, which is good. So, when you do take the screen up, it is connected to the board by a ribbon cable. Don't push it too far back, otherwise you will snap it. There's 4 screws to take out. Take those out, they're all positive drive ones. So, make sure you keep them in the order that you took them out, because they're all different sizes. And it's great having a magnetic screwdriver because it's dead easy to get that. Now, the top right screw is not magnetic. So, get tweezers and pull up. Simple as that. And then the plate covering connectors, take that out, and you're left with 3 connectors. Just pop them off, like so, and the screen pops off. Put that bit aside. Now, don't bend those too much, otherwise they will come off. Okay, you've got a few screws on this. The first ones to take off are these 2 top ones. So take these ones off. There's one. They're both different sizes, so make sure you keep those in the same order. Now this has a little clip on the side, just there, and it clips underneath. So what you need to do is you need to get a thin pair of tweezers to just pop it out, like that, and then that comes off, like so. And this reveals the ear speaker, which just pops off, and also the webcam and IR sensors on the front, proximity sensors. Now to get this off, it's glued down, so this is what the Stanley knife's for. Be very careful, do not slice into the flex cable, otherwise you'll have to replace it. So just ease it underneath, so, and it should just pop up. Just give it a bit, so you don't radge on it, otherwise you will split something. Just easy, take your time, you don't have to rush with it. Not against the clock, and it just releases like that. Peel that back. Now the microphone is in like a rubber seal. Just pop that up with the same blade and leave it connected to this silver plate. Don't try and peel this off, it'll be a nightmare. So, to get the silver plate off, you've got a screw there, screw here, screw there, screw there, screw there, and one here. So, take those off. So all this stuff has got to go back on the new screen. Unless you bought a full assembly, otherwise you can skip all this and just throw it back on the phone. But I like to save a little bit of money and use recycled parts. Is that all of them? I think it is. With this, it should just lift up. If it doesn't, you've got little metal edges, just pull them to the side and it will pop off. So that's that bit. So we'll put that to the side for a second. Now, at the top, there are two plastic like seats for the camera and the sensor. What you need to do is get them off, and you just need to get under them, and they pop off like that. That's that one. Get the IR sensor one. Just do this very gently, otherwise they'll just snap. Pull it off like that. Okay. And also we need the home button off this as well. So there's two screws. Now this metal plate has the ribbon cable on it, so don't just rip it off, otherwise it will break. Again, using a Stanley knife to start in the corner, just lift it, just try to get it under, and it will just ease off. Some people heat these, I don't think there's a need to, just to release the glue. But if you've got a nice sharp blade, just ease it up, but don't cut into it, otherwise you will break the ribbon and you'll end up replacing it. It's not a lot of money, but you don't want the extra hassle of changing it. Just get under it and it should just lift off like that. Simple. And then you've got the actual home button itself. Let's take this back. And just push it in from the other side and just lifts off. Like that. Simple. So there's the knackered screen. Leave the sellotape on it so the glass doesn't go everywhere. And grab the new screen. So the new screen has this red protective layer on it. It's best to clear your top as well of any glass if you can, otherwise you'll scratch the new screen. So with this, do this slowly, otherwise you'll pull the back of the LCD off. So what I do is I put my fingers there and just peel it back like that. It comes off perfectly. And it doesn't matter if you do the top or the bottom, you can do them either way. So I might as well do the home button first. Make sure there's no fragments of glass on there. Put it in. Make sure it's straight. Otherwise you'll be able to tell from that side. It looks like a rubbish job that you've done. And mine's not straight. Typical, eh? Straighten that up so it's spot on, otherwise it'll wind me up. Like that. Okay. So line the holes up of the actual home button and push down the ribbon cable, because the residual glue on the back will stick it down fine. You don't have to add any new glue. Put screws back in, and that's the home button done. Dead easy, no problem. Like so. Okay, right, now here's the tricky bit. These little plastic holders, if you look at the webcam one, the eyesight camera one, there is a curve on the top of it, and it should sit on there very nicely. It will just sit, we're not sticking it back down because we don't need to, as the flex will hold it anyway. Same with the sensor, proximity sensor, just place it on there, because the actual flex will hold it into place. Dead easy. So bring back the camera and flex and everything. What you want to do is fold it back a little bit, put this bit on first, and worry about positioning them in a second. Just have to open these up a little bit so it sits better. It's a bit tighter obviously because it's not broken, this one. Just ease it in like that. It's perfect. Put the screws back in. Start at the top. Beautiful. Just work our way around. Two side ones. Right, okay. We need to now put, first off, what you need to do is put the microphone one in, so that you'll see this little hole for it. Just push that in. Now I've dislodged that, so I'm just going to reseat that. Now, all you've got to do is just fold it over and push everything back down. Like so. And everything will just sit how it was because it's all folded and it's perfect. So once that's in, you'll see like a little piece of plastic that comes out the top there, and that sits in the other hole in the rubber seal. Just push that in, like that. Now with this, if you've bent this, when taking it off, just push it back so it's in line, and you put this end in first. So this goes underneath the eyesight camera, and it should just push down and clip in, like that. That's right. Just redo it. There you go. So it's a lot stiffer now. Also check on the other side that the eyesight camera is in the centre, otherwise it'll just look rubbish. There we go, that's spot on. The longer screw goes in at the top. Now the speaker is magnetic, so it will pull your screws off. There we go, straight in like that. Now only do these screws up finger tight, don't do them rock hard, otherwise you'll just thread them. And then you'll have to buy a new screen again. Oh. Right. One tip that I'd say is these haven't been bent before, so the best thing to do is to don't bend them like a piece, like fold them like a piece of paper, just bend them over ever so slightly, like that, just so they're ready to be put into the chassis. When you do put it back in the chassis, make sure there's nothing going to be in the way and put pressure on the screen like this one. It's like a big gouge where they've dropped it. So if I try to put that back on, it just won't sit properly. Plus there's all dirt in it, so I'm just going to quickly clean that up because that's disgusting. That's dead skin and all sorts. I'm just going to use a knife just to take the plastic off this just ever so slightly, because I'm not going to be able to bend that back, just so the screen sits better. I think that'll do it. Just double check. That's why she's dropped it. Drunken night out as per usual. Great, isn't it? Just get rid of some of this dirt. That's the screen won't sit properly. Okay, that looks spot on to me. Okay, so these are quite delicate, so these are layered, so you can obviously tell which one goes in first. Oh, there's a bit of plastic now. Make sure that doesn't get caught anywhere. And that one. And the next one. Now, I always try to turn it on. Just make sure the screen works. Which it does. Spot on. Pop it off before putting this plate on, because you don't want to put the plate on and then have to take it off because it doesn't work, and you try to find out why. So put these back in. Make sure you don't flip the screen, obviously, because you will break those cables. And the magnetic one, it's a nightmare. Just use tweezers to put it in. Okay. Right. When you reseat the screen, make sure there's no plastic on the front of this getting lodged in it. What you want to do is you push it in at the top first, like that, so it seats, and then just work your way down the phone. It should just click in like so. Make sure it definitely works. Yep. Digitizer works and everything. Happy days. And all you got left to do is put your screws back in on the bottom, and that should be us done. And that's how you change a 5C screen. So there you have it. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, tell your friends. This is how you do it. Even make some money for yourself. That's why I do these tutorials. I obviously charge these customers. So there you go. Thanks guys.